Today on the Bowser Journal, we prep our spring gardens to get ready for planting. Come join us. So here in Florida, we're past our last frost date. So it's time to get the beds ready for our spring planting. I've already started some tomatoes, peppers, herbs, and things like that inside, and I've started to harden them off. They're probably a few inches tall now, actually about 12 inches tall. And we're starting to bring them out in the shade during the day so that they can start hardening off, and hopefully we'll be able to plant them here in about a week. So while that's happening, I'm getting my beds ready. So far I've gone through these 4 beds and pulled out all of the plants that had finished bearing fruit or had started to bolt, and now we're prepping them. So the first thing you want to do is, since they're in raised beds especially, we need to add nourishment back into the soil. So when you're getting ready to plant, you want to go ahead and top dress your beds. We have this amazing compost that we've grown here. You can see how dark and rich that is. It has all kinds of organic matter in it. We have a free source of horse manure, so we grow our own soil here at Bowser Ranch. And we throw kitchen scraps. You can throw about almost anything that will break down and into it, and hay clippings, spent hay, the manure, anything like that, rabbit poop, chicken poop, everything goes into the compost pile, and it heats up and turns it into this amazing organic matter that can nourish your garden. So we put about a couple of inches on top of our beds. We pull back the mulch that was there, spread down the new compost, and then we'll come back and add probably about an inch of wood chips on top. You can use several different things to help keep the moisture into the soil, which is very important to do. There's wood chips, you can use straw. You could use hay, but sometimes that contains seed and that'll promote weeds in your garden bed, so we don't typically use hay. Or you can even rake up your old leaves that fell over the winter, and it's a really good top mulch to use to help keep moisture in so that your plants will thrive. One thing we do here in Central Florida, we have a lot of ants, and they kind of overtake the garden sometimes, and ants can be really bad for your plants because they will help carry the aphids up your plants so that they can get to your leaves and suck all the life out of them. So we try to control the ants as much as we can. And one thing we do when we're getting our beds ready, after we put down our organic matter on top, the compost, we go ahead and sprinkle a whole bunch of DE, it's diatomaceous earth. It's all natural, it's not harmful to pets. We could even eat it. We use it as dewormers here on the farm for some of our animals and sprinkle it in their food, and also to help keep down like fleas and things like that. So it is very effective at getting rid of ants that come in contact with it. So we're going to sprinkle it down on top of the soil that we just put down, and then put the mulch on top of that. And you might wonder why we have our new puppy on a leash right now. There's 2 reasons. First, we're working and can't keep an eye on her, so we don't have to worry about her going and getting into something that could hurt her. And she also likes to eat the soil that we're putting down. So for some reason they're attracted to manure. But so we keep her on a leash so she's able to be out here with us, but we can still control her at the same time. We put in these trellises last year for our cucumbers, and it worked perfect with cucumbers and beans. This year I'm going to try cucumbers on these 2 beds, and then the far 2 beds I'm going to plant some little tiny melons. So the sugar babies, and the other one's an early moonbeam. We've never tried either of those, so you can actually grow those on the trellis too, and then put them in little hammocks to help hold them up so that they don't pull off of the vine. But I see pickles in our future. You want to say something?
I love having a tractor. An old gardening trick is to put an egg in where you plant your tomatoes and break it, because it puts nutrients in the ground. So we have an abundance of duck eggs, goose eggs, and chicken eggs. So we're putting them in the garden.
Well, it's about noon now in Florida, which means it's quitting time because it's in the 80s now, even though we're only in March. But we have 4 of our 18 beds planted and ready to go for the spring garden. The only thing I have left in here is once I pull up the remaining winter crops, I will be transplanting my peppers into the beds. So that's the only thing left to go in here, and some flowers that I'll be planting over the next couple of weeks. Until next time, live your own story.